Amazon Prime members now get free grocery delivery with the minimum order. You'll get your groceries with 2-hour delivery. So in that time, you can finally figure out where the biblioteca is, learn how to play the acoustic guitar, and I guess get a puka shell necklace. Do a makeup tutorial, but realize halfway contouring is hard, and you're beautiful just as you are. Whatever it is you're doing with your time, your shopper will be carefully picking out your favorite organic meats, produce, dairy, and snacks while providing contactless delivery to your door. Free 2-hour grocery delivery, now with Prime.
Rise to murder, bring your light to injustice, bring your light to the violence, no more silence. So many stories of innocent lives that they hide. Rise to murder.
Precise. That was nice. That was on point.
Was that delayed? I don't know.
We'll fix it in post. It's the magic of audio production.
Yeah.
No one knows a thing. You idiots don't know shit about shit.
What's your EQ at?
Yeah, I broke my tooth today. You had no idea about that. Who am I this week? I had something ready too. Oh, I'm the baby who's suing Mark Zuckerbergenson from Facebook.
Is that a baby or da baby?
The baby, the rapper.
Why is da baby? Yeah, why is da baby suing Zuckerberg?
You know, I never thought that I would be on the baby's side on anything ever.
Yeah, for sure.
But I will say I'm in his corner with this. So the baby was being the baby. It was on Instagram asking for people to go on his live with him and show him his titties, their titties. Now, well, I know that rapper stuff. Yeah, Instagram hood booger stuff. But we all know that Mark Zuckerfly from Facebook doesn't like nipples of women.
Can't do the nips.
So he banned the baby's account on Instagram and Facebook.
Oh, I forgot they own Instagram. That's right, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So the baby's mad that he can't get on anywhere. So his plan is to sue Mark Zuckerberg. And I'm thinking, I was like, this ain't gonna go.
There's no way. He owns a private company, and he's like, you can't use my product.
As soon as
That's the end of it.
I know there's an intern out there who's like on the Shade Room and saw that post and just like cackled because there's that's not going anywhere.
I want a supercut of all of the cackles from the Shade Room. Have I sent you? There's a supercut of Danny Brown laughing over and over and over again. I'll send it to you. It's so good. It just fills me with so much joy.
Yeah, but this week, all the black employees at Facebook laughing at the baby.
This week, Snow the Product's new video. What is it called? Snow the Product. Tell You Like This. Whew. It's got such aggressive energy, and it's really what I've been taking into workouts recently. So
send me that.
Yeah. Check out Snow the Product. If you're still sleeping on her, you're making mistakes.
And this is Bros of Murder.
Dude, for real. Like, she just bodies people. It's insane.
I'm here for it. That's the type of energy we need going into 2021.
Yeah, for real. And she raps in Spanish and English, and like she switches through the flow so clean. And she's bi icon, and she's got a cute ass girlfriend, and her music videos are fly, and her bars are unparalleled.
She sounds like a whole, just an icon.
She's the kind of person you're like, I need you to put me onto the list in the club, and us and all our friends are just gonna tear it apart. Let's do it.
Speaking of icons, real quick, did you listen to Santa Baby by Mariah Carey, Jennifer Hudson, and Ariana Grande?
No.
Motherfucker.
Dude.
When they harmonized their whistle notes together, I felt like I was like transcended to a different plane. Like the legendariness.
I don't fuck with Christmas like that, but...
Neither do I, but I fuck with vocals.
I was gonna say, they are incredibly powerful voices, for sure.
And that was like, it's Jennifer Hudson screaming at the top of her lungs.
I haven't heard anything from Jennifer Hudson in a minute.
She does a lot of like Broadway stuff, so coronavirus really fucked her over. She did Cats, and that was the only good part of Cats.
Ooh. Quick side note on the like my 2020 Wrapped for Spotify, my number one genre was show tunes, and I'm like, what? No, what? And I was looking back on it, and it was
Hamilton.
It was Hamilton, and it was the Beetlejuice musical.
Interesting.
It's so good, dude.
Well, see, mine was Hamilton, Wicked, and
Wicked is good. Wicked is good. I had a friend just put me onto Hades Town. Super cool. It's like it's the Greek legend of Orpheus and Eurydice, but it's like in a New Orleans jazz style.
We're gonna talk about this later.
I'm sorry.
We're gonna get into it. Yeah, we're doing
too much music.
We digress.
Let's talk about murder.
Yes. Welcome back to Surprise Murder. I'm Andre. This is my dearest friend Robert. Because his battle #Frankenstein ear is still recovering. I'll give you a quick update. I did see the ear. It's healing. It looks like shit. But
I was talking to him, and he was like in and out of the ER. It was bad.
But his hearing's coming back, so maybe like next week or so. He said he'll test. He's still testing the waters. He's going on Twitch, I think, tomorrow to see like how he can handle with headphones on for a long period of time. So recovery. Send all your thoughts and prayers out the battle.
Yeah.
But yeah, so do you want to start? I think I started last time, right?
Yeah, I can start.
Yeah, you can start.
No sweat. So, my murder comes from the year 2000. So, it was the murder of Isabel Pedroza, who was 50 when they were murdered. She was murdered by her daughter and her daughter's boyfriend. We have Linda Pedroza and Antoine Wright were the perpetrators. So, right off the top, we have figured out through the courts that their reason for killing the mother was because the mother was a racist white lady who didn't want her daughter dating a black man.
He's hot.
Yeah. So apparently they were actually totally fine and loved Antoine until Isabel found out that they were having sex. And that was a bridge too far for whatever reason.
No, they were just cool in a Christian way. Everything was fine and dandy.
Yeah. So it sounds like, they were racist the whole time and just they had to bring that all to the surface. They couldn't take it anymore. Isabel Pedroza, the mother, was like, you can't see him anymore. You guys have to break up. So at that time, Linda Pedroza was 17 years old. Antoine was 23. So
I don't like those numbers.
That's a sketch. It's just getting sketchier from here. I'm sorry. It's a complicated family drama scenario. So
I'm not like anybody.
Not a good dude. Also, if you have a friend who is 17 years old and they are talking to someone in their 20s, please stop them.
Yeah, say something. If you have a friend who's 23 and are talking to a 17-year-old,
oh yeah,
punch them in the face.
Don't have that friend anymore.
Don't have that.
You need to check them.
Put them on blast.
So this was the reason they committed murder. That we're not allowed to be together anymore, so we have to kill my mother, which is such a leap in logic. There's no let's run away together.
Yeah.
Let's wait till I turn 18 and I move out of the house.
Make it legal.
Right. She was 17 years old. You telling me you couldn't wait 6 months? You had to murder a person? Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Broadway, that's some fucked up Romeo and Juliet shit. And not like that movie that came out a couple years ago. The modernized Romeo and Juliet.
Where they had guns. Yeah.
But the set design was beautiful, though.
Okay, but have you seen Romeo Must Die? It's the Asian one.
No, I haven't.
Okay, that one's kind of hard.
I'm gonna look that up.
Romeo Must Die. Okay, so Isabel was actually the one who decided, hey, today's the day we're gonna kill my mom. So when Isabel Pedroza came home from work on June 23rd, Antoine Wright hit her in the head with a frying pan so hard that they broke the handle of the frying pan.
Shit.
And apparently Isabel just took it and was okay still for the most part. That did not kill her. So then she was probably in shock, probably would have died, but they realized, like, you did not kill her with this frying pan. So they, together, the both of them, wrapped an extension cord around her neck and, suffocated her. Or strangled. After that, they put her body into the bathtub, covered it in acid to destroy the body, after which they then dumped her body in the woods and dropped her car at Palm Beach International Airport. This happened in Florida. And then they told the authorities, her mom went missing, so the authorities came looking. So they told the authorities that their mother had gotten so angry about the couple's relationship that she moved to Texas. And that was kind of it for a minute.
I'm still stuck on the whole acid thing.
Yeah, that's one thing to, decide to kill someone. It's another thing to decide to kill your family, your own mother, and then to be like, acid to... It's messed up.
You just can't, go buy acid.
You can. What are you talking about? I used to work at Lowe's. We sold lots of acid.
Really? Okay. I'm surprised. I used to work in a lab, and I always assumed that it was a process to get acid. I burned myself on acid before too.
Me too. Drain cleaner. Lots of drain cleaners are acid. Just acid. Oh. Yeah. We actually had a woman at the store I worked at. She dropped a bottle while she was stocking a shelf, and it hit the ground and popped up in her face.
So see, my acid incident was on my ass. I was throwing out all the glass jugs full of the acid that we use at the lab.
You were just tossing it over your shoulder? No worries?
No. See, I throw them on a trash bag. After I rinsed them out and cleaned them out, I did it obviously shittily. And when I went to go take the trash bag out, I hucked it over my shoulder. As I walk into the dumpster, I'm like, why does my ass hurt? And I put my hand there, why do my fingers hurt? And I was like, oh God, the ass is eating through my jeans.
So... we both have experienced acid will mess up a human body for sure. So they ditch the body, and the day after the murder, Antoine Wright moves into their house. They start living together, and all the neighbors were like, God. So you just moved in? And so at that time, the father from the family was in prison for domestic abuse charges. So it was just, Linda and Antoine shacked up for a few months, and then... Linda Pedroza got Antoine's name tattooed across her chest.
As a Florida person would do, yeah.
As a Florida person would do. And then the July 4th, so, the next month, or 2-ish weeks later, I think, the decomposed corpse of Isabel Pedroza was found by surveyors in the area. Her head and shoulders, upper body were totally devoid of flesh. It didn't go into detail about how they identified the body, but they were able to. And then they took both of them into custody, and then immediately started playing them against each other, trying to offer plea deals about hey, just testify against Antoine, just testify against Linda,
She don't like you, bro. She belonged to the streets. Snitch.
Well, so he was the one who ended up taking the deal.
I bet he fucking...
I mean, it was her mom. She was the one who said, we gotta do it. But
he was the adult, though. He was the older one.
He was the adult.
Yeah, he really should have some fucking common sense.
Just run away. Just
run. Yeah,
don't hurt nobody.
It's Florida. You can find a cheap apartment somewhere.
Yeah. So Antoine Wright, he ended up getting 20 years. Linda ended up getting 40 years because Antoine took the plea deal.
Yeah.
Linda was not offered that plea deal. So this case kind of popped back up in the news in 2020 because they started reviewing it again because Linda was, she got her sentence while she was a minor, and it was a 40-year sentence, which is a considerable amount of time. And it started this big legal discussion about, can you give a life sentence to a minor? Because that's a de facto death sentence. If you die in prison, the court ruled that you're gonna die in prison. That's it. If I give you back-to-back life sentences and it's 150 years or whatever,
you're gonna die in prison.
Right. So when it comes to children, is that ethical? Do we need to set up a law that if you were a child and you get a life sentence or something close to it, there's an automatic review process after half your sentence or something?
Now, how do you feel about that?
I don't think this is a great example, this case specifically, because, 17...
Close to being an adult, yeah.
You're so close to being an adult, and it was only 40 years. So, she gets out when she's, like
50s,
50s, which that's not a death sentence, which like, that's kind of what the argument's about. So like, I totally get it when you have like a 13-year-old kid who's like in foster care.
That's a lot different,
who's being abused and then like, commits a horrible act because, their brain is still developing. Like, if I can't trust you to drive a car, I don't know if I can like say you knew what you were doing when it comes to like murder.
I'm forgetting the name.
Your idea of the future is different.
Yeah, I'm forgetting the name, but you might remember it. It was a show called like Children of Rage. Yeah. So there's one case, I can't remember his name, but he was like a redhead kid with glasses, and he killed like a 2-year-old neighborhood kid, and was sentenced to life in prison. And he's been trying to get it like appealed because like 30 something odd years later, he's like, I'm a completely different person.
Right.
And looking at something like that, I was like, because he was like 7 or 8 at the time when he did the murder.
Right.
I was like, looking at something like that, I completely understand. Whereas like, you're gonna be different than when you 100%. Were. Like, so I think like under like 16.
I was gonna say that. Yeah, I don't think it should just be an 18 cutoff because I knew 16-year-olds who were like
fucking stupid.
They knew what they were doing.
Yeah, some were stupid, some knew what they were doing. So I was like, I think under 16.
Yeah, and my big issue is the without parole, because Isabel Pedroza got 40 years without parole. So, like, just add parole. Allow, like, the parole process to kick in for, the court to come back in and be like, okay, you clearly haven't changed. You killed another person in prison, or whatever it is.
And also give them those opportunities to change, like mental health services, counseling.
Yeah. And another, like, argument I saw about this, whole child murderer thing was, our prison system is pretty radicalizing. Tons of people who have no like gang affiliations or something go into prison and then have to be involved with organized crime.
Just to survive, yeah.
Just to survive. Or, they're a felon now and they can't get a job. So they're like, okay, well, I guess I'm just gonna, go back to crime.
And the cycle just feeds itself.
Yep, because the American prison system, let me just tell you, we don't get 5-star reviews on an international scale.
Me and Battle like raged about this so much, especially when it comes to private prisons. Like,
the rate of recidivism is so bad in the U.S. We're so bad at like stopping people from committing crime. It's like it's not the point.
And there's so many, because like you hear the whole argument like, well, prison's not supposed to be fun, blah blah blah. Like, no, yeah, you do your time there, but also let's give these people avenues to get better and do better. So when they come outside, they're better.
Well, and yeah, that's why I'm such a huge fan of like public works and stuff, like community service as like punishment, especially for like misdemeanor crimes. Don't give someone charges. Just be like, okay, you got to pick up trash on the side of the road for like weekends for 6 months. You're given back to the community. You're having to like think about your actions, and we don't put you in a gang potentially and make you a violent criminal. But I did find a very cool organization called the Sentencing Project, which their whole deal is juvenile life without parole. And, finding those cases of like, people who truly have turned their lives around, or, perhaps even innocent. But there needs to be some sort of review process. It's that like without parole part that's like really the kicker.
Yeah.
They're still both in jail. This happened in 2000. We're only 20 years later. I don't believe Wright is actually out. I couldn't find any information about him being released, but that may not have been made public, because he should be at the end of his 20 years.
There's no heroes in that case at all. Like,
no,
everyone
so
around was
bad.
just terrible.
You have the racist mother, but she didn't deserve to be murdered.
Didn't deserve to be murdered, no.
You had the like Linda Pedroza who like committed murder, but like was pushed into it by possibly her older boyfriend, who was a 23-year-old dating a 17-year-old.
And her dad's in prison too, so she doesn't come from a good family.
Yeah, like, it was a mess. It was a mess. And then there's the acid and the frying pan and the extension cord, and so brutal. It was such a violent murder too. It wasn't even like, something quick. Yeah. Rough stuff.
Things you do for love, right?
Apparently.
So on that just awful depressing note, take a small break.
Donato's just didn't add bacon to their pizzas. They added bacon to their bacon. It's Donato's new Bacon Duo pizzas. 2 pizzas, each with 2 kinds of bacon. Try the new Pepperoni Bacon Duo with pepperoni, Canadian bacon, and hardwood smoked bacon. And the Chipotle Bacon Duo with Canadian bacon and Chipotle seasoned bacon. Now get $2 off a large Bacon Duo or any large pizza. Use promo code 2. Donato's. Every piece is important.
Amazon Prime members now get free grocery delivery with the minimum order. You'll get your groceries with 2-hour delivery. So in that time, you can use photo filters to imagine what you would look like with bangs. But don't do it. Just imagine. Meditate. Notice your body. Feel your breath. Am I doing this right? Get lost in a Wikipedia spiral. How do flowers propagate? Whatever it is you're doing with your time, your shopper will be carefully picking out your favorite groceries while providing contactless delivery to your door. Free 2-hour grocery delivery, now with Prime.
And we're back. And so the case I have isn't any better. It's just as frustrating. And this recently happened. And I've been doing a lot more cases that recently been happening because I want to follow them and see their conclusions. So when it comes to violent crimes against women, you usually assume that there would be solidarity with other women.
Yeah. You would hope so.
You would hope so. And then when you see instances where there's women doing violent crimes against other women on the behalf of violent men, it really takes you aback. Because you just want to hope that if anybody else would understand, it would be another woman. But that always isn't the case. And that wasn't the case with this incident with Issa Cowell. So, So a woman named Crystal, her husband Devin, and her teen sister, who the name was put out there of the teen sister, but I'm not gonna put the name.
No reason to.
Yeah, she's a minor, so I'm not gonna put her name out there. They got arrested and brought in on the murder of Issa Cowell, who was set to testify against the man who she accused of raping her.
Wow.
So this teen accused the man of sodomizing and raping her back in May. And she was set to testify against him. His name wasn't put out there either for some reason. I don't know why. In a court proceeding that's supposed to be coming up. Now, this man who committed the rape is the brother of Crystal Ashley Ruby and her teen sister. So they, together, along with her husband, came up with a plan to silence Ashley by taking her out of the situation.
Wow. So they might not have put his name out if the case hasn't gone through yet.
Yeah.
Because it might just be
pending.
alleged rape at this point.
Yeah, the case was still pending, so they probably...
Maybe trying to avoid a libel lawsuit.
That makes sense.
So now,
on September 7th, Issa was dropped off at a Norfolk home. This happened in Norfolk, Virginia, too. So she dropped off at Crystal and Devin's home under the guise to do Crystal's niece's hair. Because Issa was 17 on the side. She did hair to make extra money. A lot of young black women do that. It just makes some extra pocket cash. So she was lured over there under the guise of coming to do hair. And her mom told her, when you're done, she dropped her off. She doesn't drive. She said, when you're done, call me. I'll come pick you up. 2:00 hit, the projected time to when she thought her daughter would be done just simply braiding someone's hair, and she never got a call back. She went there, no one saw her, so she immediately filed for a missing persons report. Everyone went out for the search. So, unbeknownst to her, what happened was that when Crystal got there, she was immediately... not Crystal, sorry. When Issa got there, she was immediately jumped by Crystal and Devin, her husband. And these people are in their 40s. They're grown adults jumping on this 17-year-old girl. They jumped her and threw her in their vehicle, and Crystal and her sister held her at gunpoint as they drove out to the outskirts of town near a riverbank. As they got to the riverbank, they told her to get out the car, and they all walked to the woods, just walked the trail. Gunpoint the whole time. As they're walking, Asia's like, trying to talk them out of what they're doing because she's realizing what's going to happen. And in the middle of talking, Crystal pulls off a couple rounds and shoots her in her back, killing her. So after the immediate killing, they got rid of the weapon, tried their best to dispose of the bodies and all the belongings, and went about their day. Went back to their house, talked to her mom, said that she left. They didn't see her after that, like she went off with a friend, yada, yada, yada. So during the whole search, the body was found 2 weeks later out in the woods by the riverbank. And being that she is no longer allowed to testify, the case against the accused rapist was dropped a week after her body was found.
What? Well, there was no follow-up? Maybe these are connected?
Nope.
No witness, end of discussion?
Well,
Wow.
police were able to arrest Crystal, Devin, and the teen daughter, but they really couldn't do anything about this rape case because there's no one to testify. Now, both women are being charged with murder in the first degree, abduction, use of force, and a firearm to commit a felony. And they're really just holding them until now. And Devin is also sitting in prison, but he's on second degree murder and conspiracy to commit a felony.
So he's probably just driving or something?
Yeah, so...
just accessory to the crime?
So the sister, she cracked first and basically told the whole story, and he admitted to just jumping her and getting her in the car. He wasn't there for the actual murder itself. He just helped subdue her and throw her in the car. He stayed home.
I mean, there's a part of me that's like, I don't care if you didn't pull the trigger. You murdered that girl.
You helped murder a 17-year-old girl.
If it wasn't for your driving, maybe she could have gotten away. If it wasn't for you, being intimidating, maybe she would have gotten away. She could still be alive. If you didn't help, you murdered that girl.
And so, as of right now, none of them have any lawyers. And they haven't said not guilty or guilty yet, but...
Yeah. I mean, if they're already agreeing to what they did, I imagine they're trying to get a guilty plea or something.
Yeah, I think the younger sister cracked and the husband cracked. And I think the husband cracked because he knew, like, hey, like a little girl already talked, so we're fucked.
Yeah.
And all this so their brother could not get charged with rape and sodomy. And I guess their plan worked. But at what cost?
So instead of your brother going to prison,
now both
you
and your 17-year-old sister. And that's the thing that gets me too, because like these are two black women. The young sister's 17, and the girl they killed was a black 17-year-old girl. And it's like, you killed her because she was a victim. Like, how?
Yes. Well, and like this is just another example of when people come forward, especially women come forward and say these kinds of things.
You're in danger.
Do not question what they are saying. Let the legal process go, because like they are doing it at the risk of being murdered. Every time someone comes forward with a rape allegation, it is not an easy thing to do. They're not doing it for like money or clout. They are at the risk of being murdered, and people need to recognize that.
Or to a lesser degree, just run through the fucking mud.
Yeah, absolutely. Trust people that come forward with these allegations.
It's not easy, obviously.
No, and you don't benefit from this. Like you're doing a selfless act of trying to get someone who committed a horrible thing off the street.
All this behind a man. That's all, like, really. You did all this behind your brother who sodomized and raped somebody.
Yeah.
Was it worth this, sis? Did you get picked?
That's what I really want to come out of this case, like going forward, that the brother that they were doing this for, that they flip on him and he goes to prison too.
Yeah, so I understand why they had to drop it because she's no longer allowed to testify, but I think under the circumstances, let's revisit that case.
And, maybe if one of the siblings, if they have any information about that it happened, I saw it, or, he told me, he admitted it to me, like, if I get off on my sentence, can I give you information on him? Because, I want him off the street, too.
No, yeah, if he tried to sodomize a 17-year-old girl, he needs to be off the fucking streets.
And, I am operating under the assumption that, he did commit rape because they were willing to kill the person who's going to testify about it.
Yeah.
That's going to make you look a little suspicious.
That looks a little sus.
To have to kill witnesses to win your court case?
Now, I'm also wondering if he, set the shit up.
Yeah, 100%. I could totally see him being like, hey, family helps family.
All this behind the man. So, I mean, I'm going to be keeping an eye on this and watching it play out because I want everyone involved to just get the book thrown at the neck and face. It's hard.
With the big old legal volumes.
Yeah, just like you see Fairly Odd Parents when Jordan Bostrangle will show up the book. Just a book that size, yeeted.
Yeah, I need to set up a Google alert for that case.
Yeah, so Asia Caldwell, we will be keeping our ears open, and I will be updating you on that and the other couple cases that I have pinned. But yeah, this is another great cases that we discussed, some great discussions. Robert, it's always a pleasure.
Fantastic. You're wonderful to listen to. The voice, the content, it's all great.
It's marvelous. Iconic, legendary, fantastic. But yeah, and I want to thank all of you listeners out there because we wouldn't be here without you. I know I wouldn't. This year has been amazing. I just want to say thank you. And, check the links below if you want to get some merch. We're coming out with some new merch soon. I'm still trying to figure out a design.
The design ideas that I've seen for it are sick.
Yeah. So I can't wait for that. If you want to donate, you can check out the links below too. The Spotify playlist for all the music is down there. And yeah, just watch out for some more. We got a lot more content coming for you on the social medias. And just get ready. Because next year, we're going to be coming at you guys hard. Hard as shit.
Hard as that book we're going to throw out.
Hard as that book. So enjoy the music coming up. And stay spooky. Bye.
Been acting so cold, I ain't calling sick. Been trying to really be moving shit. Shady can't think that she actually did. That's just dirty. My bitch is carried. There's some bitch I ain't none of your bitches just blurry. You say I don't want you, I can't say I'm sorry. Can't tell that a nigga just that I'm maturing. Looking at the sky from the roof. Look at me, I enjoy another view. I'm high to the roof. I'm sweating, got me in the mood. I'm starting up into the moon. All of the stew. I'm straight off all I can do. I keep on walking on the moon. Let the ride for a suit. I'm show you, baby girl, what I do. Now my nigga, and I'ma take up a boo. My VVS blurry, did this to me, now I'm back into therapy. I've been lacking from the time I still put it. When I'm back on my feet, I'm a face, I'm a face, I'm a face, I'm a feel my senior. The flow is still sick and a remedy. I've been just stood up to Italy. But I still give my fire, that's the money, that's why I can tell y'all someone could see me. Dressing on my chats, what the fuck did I do? Fuck a nigga, try with his ass, you a hitter. I'm birds up and now, you can tell what I was looking. I'm getting too tall, fuck nigga, yeah, I'm winning. I'm winning, let's go. Style with affection, let niggas hate money, power with affection. Niggas that want with the power, snatch. You get worse in my time, you don't got your culture in your life. Just let's keep it 6 feet apart, I'm ready to fly. Don't wanna like get me high, you know when like Bunny and Clyde. You feel all the guys, man, I think I would die. Know that my life on the line, I'm 6 on the dice. Sleeping too far than large, try to still keep me alive.
Donato's just didn't add bacon to their pizzas. They added bacon to their bacon. Canadian bacon and hardwood smoked bacon, or Canadian bacon and Chipotle seasoned bacon. Get $2 off a large bacon duo or any large pizza. Use promo code 2. Donato's. Every piece is important.